Welcome to Tehachapi. You're standing inside of a 32-acre facility growing tomatoes, this particular compartment being 32 acres, the entire facility being 64 acres in size. We've grown to this size over a long period of time. Tehachapi is the crown jewel in SunSelect's portfolio of greenhouses. We started off as a single-acre hydroponic facility growing bell peppers, and over the course of a few decades have grown into over 100 acres of facility doing tomatoes and bell peppers. One of the things that we really like in this facility is the ability to be able to control the growing climate quite tightly. I can control temperature, humidity, water levels very precisely. We're currently at 7.8 billion people on this planet, and in about 30 years we're going to be approximately 10 billion people, which means I have to come up with a plan to reduce that gap and feed into all those additional mouths. The only way we can do that is to be effective and efficient in our productivity, in our production. So one of the things that I can do is to tightly regulate all of my growing conditions. One of the things that I also like to do is to inject carbon dioxide into my greenhouse so I can get extra yield. So as much CO2 as I can get, tomato plants love it, I get higher productivity. I'm able to do that with a really unique installation, a cogeneration facility that allows me to do several things. It allows me to capture the CO2 and inject it into the greenhouse to make higher yields for my produce, but I'm also capturing the heat off of the system as well. These tomatoes are growing year-round, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. In the dead of winter, when it's freezing outside, I'm still producing tomatoes, and I do that because I have the ability to take heat from my cogeneration facility and utilize that heat in the nighttime hours and allow these plants to thrive and survive during the dead of winter. So in a facility of this size, approximately 64 acres, I need a fairly large cogeneration facility. My facility is producing approximately 6 megawatts of electricity, and I'm also getting about 6 kilowatts of heat per hour that I utilize in the greenhouse to allow me to keep temperature. Also getting about 3,000 kilograms per hour from this system of CO2. And again, as much CO2 as I can inject into this greenhouse, the yields improve likewise in step-by-step fashion. Unknown benefit to cogeneration that many people don't realize is there are incentives and grants that are available to put in a system like this. My natural gas provider has allowed a $500,000 credit on the installation of my facility, which actually factored into our economics in deciding if we were going to do this facility or not. So about 2 years ago, we looked at the math. It really made perfect sense, so we started construction. And then we completed that construction earlier this year. So we're now utilizing all of the benefits, gaining the benefits from cogeneration. We're getting the CO2 for the greenhouse. We're getting the extra heat that we need going into my winter season. And we're getting electricity that I'm able to utilize for my facility, pulling about 1.5 megawatts in the summer. Cogeneration easily covers the 1.5 megs that I consume, and then I have excess electricity that I can sell back to the grid. And that also is a profit center. So instead of thinking of cogen as a way to spend money to give me a benefit, I'm actually making money with cogeneration, plus I get all the benefits from it. So it's really a win-win for us here in Tehachapi.